Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on enhancing your business visibility, the importance of SEO optimized website and content. This webinar is organized by Ivy Labs. Ivy Labs is a tech savvy powerhouse excelling in mobile app and web development, dedicatedly delivering top notch, user friendly solutions for businesses. Our expertise lies in crafting innovative and customized software solutions. So, I welcome you all to our webinar session, and I hope that this session will be very encouraging for you. So, here I would like to introduce you to our speakers for today's webinar. First, we have Mr. Chandramouli, SEO Head, and Ms. Sachi Parmar, Creative Director and Content Strategist. So, over to you guys.
Hello. Am I audible to everyone? I guess so. So, good evening, everyone. And my name is Shachi, as he said, and basically, I'm the creative head and content strategist at A1. And today, we'll be talking about we'll be talking about why SEO is important and in website building and also the relation of it with its content. But before we begin with that, let us understand one quote by Ben Comstock. He goes on to say that we need to be where the world is going. And as we know today that the world is going digitally, it's there on the web, on the digital ecosystem. So that's where businesses are also heading, right? But just being there is not enough. And we believe that it is important to be found over there. So you have the website, but how are you going to be found? For that, SEO comes into picture. And when SEO comes into picture, content comes hand in hand. And before I go on, I'll ask Chandramouli. He'll be taking you through the everything about SEO and what role it plays in websites. So over to you, Chandramouli.
Hi guys, my name is Chandramouli and I am here to brief you a bit about the SEO, that how exactly the SEO can work, how you can improve the visibility of your website and everything. So let's start. So our today's topic is enhancing your business visibility and the importance of SEO optimized website and content. So to getting the online business, it doesn't mean that you only need to have the website, but it means that you also need to have the SEO and a user friendly website as well as the content to improve the visibility. So at the same time, in this webinar I will take you through all the SEO perspectives that where you can improve as a business owner. If you are here to learn, you guys can get to know a bit of insight about the SEO and everything. So let's start. So the first thing first, so this is the basic question, that what is SEO. So the SEO means the practice of implementing strategies. You have the website, but now with the help of SEO you can go ahead and you can improve the visibility into the search result. And that SEO, the search engine optimization, it improves your ranking as well as visibility in the SERP. The SERP, that means search engine result page. When you are searching something and the results that you are finding, that is the search engine result page. Okay. Now, the most of the business owners question that why SEO. So here we have also gather the fundamentals and the main reason that why anyone should opt it for the SEO if they have the website. So 68% of the online experience begin with the search engine. So obviously more than 80% of the people all over the globe, they are using Google, and Google is a search engine. So as far as the data is concerned, they are suggesting that 68% of online experience, the guys who are searching online into the search engine, that are 68%. Now 0.63% of Google searchers click result from the second page, so which is very minimum. Like if you have a website, your website is ranking on the second page, that means that the chance of you are getting clicks is less than 1%. So if 100 people are searching for your website, maybe you are not going to get at least one click only. Now, as per the data, all over the traffic that is coming to any of the website, there is more than 50% of the traffic that is coming from the organic search. Because obviously, when you are searching something in Google, you can also see that various kind of advertisements also put up by the Google, where it's written sponsored ahead of the advertisement. But below that, those are the real organic search result, and that is one of the case where if your website is SEO optimized without spending more money, you can get more than 50% of the traffic that are actually searching about your service, your business, or your product. Okay. Now now as far as we have concern about the organic traffic and everything, the data that we have over the years, it suggested that if somebody is doing the organic social media and if somebody is doing the SEO, then SEO is driving more than 100,000% of traffic than the organic social media. That means with the minimum of spending, you can get the maximum number of ROI. So that is the one of the major aspect that why anyone should opt it for the SEO. Now, why the business should go ahead with the SEO? The importance of SEO for businesses. One, obviously, it can increase the online visibility. You, whatever the keywords that you are targeting, based on that, you can also target the audience. Because obviously, if you are selling some kind of a beauty product, then you can try and target the product oriented or a category oriented keywords to drive the relevant audience. Now when you are searching on the first page of Google, that itself and credibility, and that can improve the trust among the users. So importance of the main SEO is credibility and trust. Apart from that, cost effective marketing. That means if you are if you are doing the SEO with anyone or you by yourself, with the minimal of the amount, you can have the maximum number of result. Now it you can consider as a lead. Apart from that, you can consider in terms of conversion. So when you are running the advertisement, there are charges where every click you need to pay to any of the platform, whether it's the Google, either it's the Bing, or any of the third party platform. But in the SEO, whatever the monthly fees are, you can pay it off, or and that is it. So it is very cost effective. Apart from that, the competitive advantages, like whatever your competitors are doing in number of years, with the SEO, you can also try and achieve in the minimum time period. The best thing is SEO can improve the user experience, because when your website is SEO optimized, your website structure is also optimized as per the user behavior. That can improve the user experience. So the next point is your brand awareness. So when, let's suppose, your website is ranking onto the first page, people now and then the target audience can see your brand name in front of them, and that can help you to improve the brand awareness. Now, as we discussed into the previous slide, that more than the second page is only getting 0.63% of clicks. So now when your website is also ranking in the first page, there are high chances where you can get the higher conversion rate. So now if you are a business owner, apart from traffic, the conversion is the important aspect for you. So one of the major take for you is about the importance of SEO for the businesses that can give you the higher conversion rate. Now better ROI. So now the conversion rate and the return on investment is none another the synonyms of each other, but the ROI in the sense that you can measure that in the time span of 3 months or 6 months, whatever amount you have spent for doing the search engine optimization, are you getting that particular ROI? And when you compare the data, your ROI is always better than the paid advertisement that you are doing. Now, if anybody from you guys who is reading some blogs or anything online, people tend to say that okay, the SEO is a long term process. Now, long term process, it doesn't mean that it will take you years, but the long term result, that means that it will take at least 3 to 6 months to cover few of the points that we have discussed, like credibility and trust, brand awareness, and the ROI. So apart from that, when you have the SEO optimized website and when your website is ranking for quite some time, like 2 3 months, people now and then seeing your website onto the first page, that can improve the trust. So when people tend to see you first time, maybe they are not going to buy your service or they are not going to buy your product, but from the second time, third time, they will also feel that okay, they are trustworthy, Google is giving them a preference, and that is the reason that we are getting the more ROI. So what is an SEO optimized website? So basically, SEO optimized website, that means that it designed for crawling, indexing, and ranking. So crawling, indexing, and ranking is the synonym of each other. That if your website will crawl by Google, then and then only it will index, and if your website will index, then and then only you will see the ranking. So now to improve this crawling, indexing, and ranking, you need to utilize the relevant keyword. Your website structure should be clear and logical, that any of the person who are not aware about your business or a service or your website, they should get the information about what your services are, what you are offering, and how they can proceed further. So this is the simple funda of clear and logical structure, free of technical errors. The technical errors, that mean the technical errors, that means whatever that can help you to rank better in the Google. Like the technical errors we can consider like sitemap, robot.txt, and the other things that we are going to cover into the slides ahead. The major part is valuable content. Now you have a website, but if your website doesn't have a valuable content that can provide the information about your product or your service to the user, then maybe the ROI that you are expecting, you are not going to match that part. So the major funda for SEO optimized website is the utilization of your keywords, clear and logical structure, and the valuable content. So when we talk about the SEO optimized website, there are three pillars: on-page SEO, technical SEO, and off-page SEO. Now, when you talk about the major on-page points, that means one is the keyword research, the quality of content, keyword placement, image optimization, meta title, meta description, heading tags, SEO friendly URL, links, and the freshness of content. So these are the main and major on-page SEO points. Now, when you talk about the keyword research, the basic question is how to do a keyword research. So when you are doing a keyword research, either you can try and see what your competitors are using by checking their meta title and a description, Or if you would like to do it by yourself, you can, first of all, you need to identify that what is your target audience, B2B or B2C. You need to analyze the keyword from the Google. When you are searching about your product or your services, Google will also suggest these suggestions. So based on that, you can also analyze that what kind of keywords can give you more benefit. But while choosing the keyword, the important aspect to get more conversion is business oriented keywords. So if you are selling any product, the keyword that people are searching related to buy, or buy iPhone online and that kind of stuff. And if you have a mobile store, then that kind of user can, you know, when they visit your website, and if you have the iPhone, there are 90% of the chances that they will end up buying your product. So when you choose your keyword, the important thing is the business oriented keywords. Now, when you talk about the keyword research, you also need to make sure about the keyword placement. So only using the keywords, or identifying the keywords will not help you rank in Google. So while you have the keyword research with you, you need to utilize your keyword into the meta title, the meta description, heading tag, that means the H1, and any of the long tail keywords into the H2, and the first 100 words of the page. So while Google index your page, maximum they can, they can index maximum 50 MB of the page. So if you have a large e-commerce website, it is ideal that you utilize your keyword into the first 100 words. So when Google crawl your website at the starting of the content, Google can identify your keywords, and at the same time Google can also identify that what your business is, what your niche is all about, so they can put it into that category, and that can help us to rank better. Apart from these four elements, image alter text and the image file name is also plays the major role, because Google directly cannot read the web page from the front end, but from the back end also, you can check from the Google can read from the backend coding and everything. So that is one of the aspect, that if you use your keywords into the alter text and the file name, there can be the more utilization of keywords. But now more utilization of the keyword, it doesn't mean that you need to over optimize the website, but you need to make sure that you maintain the density of 2 to 2.5% from the overall content for any of your key phrases that you are targeting. So this is the major thing. Now, the main part is image optimization. So when you talk about having the alter text and the name, the file name as your keyword, so it is one of the part of image optimization. So image optimization is something where Google cannot read images. So with the help of alter text, Google can identify that okay, this particular image is about this particular thing. So now to optimize the image, you also need to make sure that your speed, the MB of the image, it should be less than the 100 KB. You need to add the alter text. Apart from that, when you have the text onto the website, you are not supposed to replace the images from the text, and you need to optimize the file name. Now meta title. So this is the ideal way of meta title, that your meta title should convey values. It doesn't over promise anything. It has to be descriptive, and it has to be interesting. Headings is important thing about the heading tag, that heading tag should convey the value. It doesn't over promise anything. It should be descriptive, and it should be interesting. So while any user visit your website, your heading should be uh, the heading should be related to whatever the business that you are providing. In terms of meta descriptions that should contain the length of 155 to 160 characters. It should include the targeted keyword. And when you are writing the meta description, you can try and utilize like call us now, or any of the things that can make your meta description more actionable, so you can get the better result. Now the main part is SEO friendly URL. So now the basic funda of SEO friendly URL is you are not supposed to use the underscore, capitals, or numbers or anything. So here we have three example. One that seems good, the another one that can the that can describe about the content, but you need to guess that what that particular content is all about, and the other one is that you are not able to understand that what exactly the content is about. So when you are making the URL, SEO friendly URL, you need to just make sure that while reading the URL, user can understand that what exactly they are into the blog or whatever the pages that you have. Now when you have the web page, you also have the links on the page. So there are two things, the two type of links. One is the external link and the another is the internal links. Now whenever whatever the page that you have, if it is your own website, you need to make sure that your internal links should be do follow and external links should be no follow. So with the internal linking structure, you can pass the link juice. Now when we complete the on-page SEO part, but we also need to make sure that the technical SEO part. So only on-page cannot fix or it can give you the ranking, but the technical SEO can help you. So now the technical SEO stands onto 5 pillars: clickability, rankability, accessibility, indexability, and crawlability. Now when you talk about the technical SEO, the major part is about the user experience. So when you build a website, you need to make sure that your website should be mobile friendly, safe in browsing. That means it should use the HTTPS security and interactive guidelines. That is the major part. Other part is about the core web vital. Now as in the latest update, Google has mandatory the mobile first indexing, so we need to make sure that your website should pass the core web vital test. And core web vital that include the major element of FID and LCP. So FID and LCP, you need to make sure that that can match the guidelines of the Google. Now when we talk about ranking the website, we also need to understand about the crawling. So when you build a website, when you have the website, you need to make sure that Google can crawl your website. So when Google can crawl your website, then and then only it can index, and then only you can see any of the result related to the SEO. So there is a tool called Screaming Frog where you can see that your website is getting crawled or not. If your website is getting crawled, you need to make sure that your redirects are implemented correctly, like 301 or a 302. Apart from that, you also need to make sure that if is there any 4xx like 401, 404 or any other 4xx or 5xx errors onto the web page or not. So while you are checking into this Screaming Frog, you need to make sure that this thing should be fixed if you are looking to fix the technical part. Now let's suppose if you find any of the broken links, you need to make sure that the links are either 301 or a 302. If you find any pages that are 4xx, or if you find any of the orphan pages, because if you have a poor link structure, that can that can cause the poor link experience, and it can also not provide a pleasant experience to humans or a search engine. When you click anything and you are not finding anything onto the next page, obviously nobody will like it. So now the other part is about the duplicate or a thin content. When you have a web page, you need to make sure you at least have a 300 or a 350 word content by minimum. If you have an e-commerce website, you can consider having 50 or 100 word content that can explain about your category. But before you do that, you need to make sure that your website can only work onto the single version of the web page. So now here in the example, we have shown that okay, here there are four kind of structure of any of the domain. So you need to make sure that one is working correctly with the 200 code, and other one should be 301 to the main version. Now HTTPS. So previously, I guess 2 3 years back, people generally don't tend to have the HTTPS, the SSL certificate, we can say in the technical term. But now in 2014, Google have announced that HTTP protocol was a ranking factor. So when you want to rank your website, and if your website is not secure, maybe it can cause you the problem. So make sure whenever if you have the website, your website should be HTTPS with the SSL certificate. Now, as we discuss about the URL structure, here is the screenshot about the Google, that there is a website called Google Search Central, where you can see that where Google said that a website URL structure should be simple and simple as possible. You need to just make sure that if somebody is reading about your URL, they can understand what they are going to find. Here we have highlighted about the same. You can also write in detail, you can also read in detail into the Google Search Central. XML sitemap. XML sitemap is one of the major element where when any of the bot visit your website, now how Google is going to identify that how many pages you have. So XML sitemap is the way where Google will identify that how many pages you have and what is the priority of that particular pages. Now, when you have a sitemap, what kind of pages you should avoid having into the XML sitemap? One is the 301 redirected. That means the old URLs that you have already shifted to the new one. Apart from that, any of the URLs that are 404 or any of one have any of the server errors or the duplicate content. So if you have a duplicate content on any of your web pages, you should avoid including into the XML sitemap. The robot.txt. Now robot.txt and XML sitemap go hand by hand. So when you update or when you check the details into the XML sitemap, you also need to make sure that your robot.txt also set up correctly. So robot.txt will help in any of the pages that you feel are, or any of the category that you feel that okay, you don't want Google to crawl, you can add it directly into the robot.txt, so Google can ignore that particular URL or the folder. Schema markup. So if let's suppose you have any of the e-commerce website, the schema can help you. So obviously when you are buying something online, you see the reviews and rating and everything. So here in the example that we have suggested few of the site, the schema markup options where about the ratings. Here you can see that they have mentioned about the ratings, as well as they have also mentioned about the pricing and everything. So there are different schemas you can find. If you have an e-commerce store, you can try and utilize the maximum schema that you can to improve the visibility. Now when you go with the on page and the technical SEO, off page is also one of the major part. So when you talk about the off page, the first thing comes into the mind, which is backlink. So backlink, that means any of the third party, any of the other website that can, when user can click and they can visit your website, or Google bot can crawl and they can reach to your website. In simple terms, it calls as backlink. So when you are building a backlink, there are a few ways to build a backlink. One is the guest posting, that you can on any of the third party website, you can be the author and you can publish the content about your whatever the product or a service that you are offering. Apart from that, when you talk about the backlink, the social media promotion, the social promotion is also one of the aspect where you can get more visibility, and any of the social platforms, they have traffic in millions. So when you share something, you can expect at least 1 or 2% of the traffic to visit your website if your content whatever you are posting onto that website is really valuable. Listing. So let's suppose if you are talking about listing, you need to also make sure that the listing can help you to rank better into the local business. So if you have a local store or anything, and if you would like to go ahead with optimizing your website with technical SEO and on page SEO, but listing kind of a thing can help you incredibly to improve the authority into the search result. Apart from that, when you have a website or a store, the PR, that means the public relation, can help you to improve your visibility in Google, because PR is one of the things that can make your particular website as a brand, and that can help you into the brand reputation. That is one of the things. So all in all, at the end, the common SEO mistakes, are not updating the regular content onto the website, ignoring that how your website is looking into the mobile, not having the SSL certificate, that means the HTTPS, neglecting the website speed and its performance. So all in all, the on page and the technical stuff, that is the main common mistake. So if you have a website, you need to make sure that you are quite strong enough in terms of technical and the on pages. Now, the main role of content. So I will go ahead and I will hand it over this thing to Miss Sachi, and she will guide you all about the content and everything.
Thank you, Chandramouli. So basically, when we talk about content, what we think of is blogs, articles, which is also correct. But if we are to put it in a layman term, then let's say that content is anything but information. And it could be in any form. It could be videos, it could be text, it could be images, whatever piece of a media format which is giving information is content. And if we talk about relation between SEO and content, it is like having a car with chassis. Like a car is built on a chassis, the same way SEO is done on the content that we write. So Google specifically places a lot of emphasis on content, and to understand this, we need to understand a little about how Google works, which we all are aware of. But let me just put it over here. Now, people come on Google to search for information, and obviously, Google, being a search engine, wants to put up most relevant results up there fast as possible. Now, how it is going to do that unless you have it on your website? So, the better the content that you have on your website, the higher the chances it has to get maximum visibility in Google. Now, as we said, in terms of Google, like in Google's eyes, or in terms of digital perspective, the more emphasis on this type of content, which is website blogs, website content, third-party blogs, articles, press releases, and obviously videos as well. And there are many other formats, but largely right now we're going to talk about these type of contents, which actually help us optimize for search engine result pages. Now, earlier I had said that Google stresses on content. So, how is that? Now, we know that Google rolls out a lot of updates in its algorithms year after year. And so far, if we look into the history, there has always been a great emphasis on the quality of content. Now, if we look at the EAT update, it stresses on four factors. That being, the content should be trustworthy, it should be authoritative, it should come from an experienced and expertised person. Now, if we think of the healthcare industry or finance industry, when the content is coming from, say, a medical professional or a person involved in finance, then the value of that content increases, and not only in terms in eyes of Google, but also in the eyes of readers. That is why Google will place more emphasis or give more visibility to that sort of content over content coming from very generalized point of view. So when we are talking of content quality, at the time of writing content, there are a few things that we need to make sure. Now, first thing is accuracy of content. You need to be up to date with what is the currently happening. Supposingly you're writing some statistic, but if your statistic is coming from say 20, now it's outdated. We're in 2023, you need to put up current statistics. So that is one thing. Apart from that, it should be you need to think of whether you are covering as much information possible in your content about that particular topic. So if you're writing on say something on SEO or say you're writing something on off-page SEO, then are you trying to cover as much possible and in a very informative, engaging manner? Next is relevance. Now, as I said, that people come on Google to search for some information, and those are basically what we call keywords. And whatever you're writing, you need to make sure that your content is in relevance with what people are searching in Google. And that is why you need to understand the keywords, you need to research them, and that's how SEO and, as I said, goes hand in hand. Next is as writers, you need to understand that is your content engaging? Are you using conversational tone, or depending on the nature of the niche of the content, you need to define your tone accordingly. Apart from that, you need to understand whether if the content is readable. Because if it's too difficult to read, or use a lot of passive voice, it won't be appreciated in the eyes of Google or also the eyes of readers. Then you also need to make sure if it's grammatically free, your spellings are correct, your punctuations are right. So these are all the basic things that you need to understand and you need to make content. Apart from that, if we talk about technical point, do your keyword research properly and inculcate them in your content, whether it is a web page content or website blog, anything it is, but you need to make sure you have used the right keywords and density. If you are stuck on the keywords and just say one small paragraph, Google is not dumb. It obviously understands that you have stuffed keywords over here, and if not penalize you, it will not the benefit of writing good content. So make sure you have spaced out the keywords throughout the content rather than cluttering them in one particular place. Apart from that, you need to be authentic in your content. Do not take content from Google and paste it back, because then you are plagiarizing. You're not going to get any benefit. Apart from that, moving on, okay, you need to add statistics, infographics, and many other things that would add value to your content. Otherwise, it's just some text and people will not be interested in reading it. Further, you need to create a proper content structure that will not only help the readers but also the crawlers to understand the layout of your content. Say the introductory part, the body, what are your headings, subpoints, and everything. Moving on, you also need to create a very impactful content requirement, which also we'll be talking about in the next slide. But before that, we need to understand about content clusters. First, we'll start with the content clusters. What is content cluster? Next. Okay, so as the word suggests, cluster is basically a collection. So this is think of it as an umbrella which has many other cluster content topics underneath. So your your pillar bottom your pillar page or main topic is your umbrella under which you're going to create many subtopics, and each of them will be interlinked with the parent page, and the parent page will be interlinking with the subtopics. So that is how you create the content cluster. And the obvious benefit of it is that they are able to share the credibility with each other, and that will in turn help increase their domain page authority. Again, a few technicalities and much to cover in one presentation, I guess. So, talking of content requirements, I'll also be showing you one of the requirements that we created over here. But before that, I'll just take you through the terminologies. So, first comes with the topic research. Whenever you're creating a content requirement, Find a topic that is already doing very well in Google. Maybe it might be a competitor, but find a good topic that is ranking very well and that is quite comprehensive in nature. Then understand the factors on which that particular content is ranking. What have they mentioned in it? What keywords they have used? What links they have placed? What are the backlinks over there? And those sort of things, so that you know what factors are helping that particular content to rank well. Then do your own keyword research and list out your primary, secondary keywords you want to target, how you're going to place them, what kind of semantic search or key phrases you can use in your content. Now, those are two different things, keywords and key phrases. Keywords are basically, it could be if I'm writing how to do cook something, it is completely a long keyword, but key phrases are individual words in that particular keyword, which is called as key phrases. So you need to make sure that you're including them properly in your content. After that, you need to define a table of content, like how we used to have in our, books, be it novels or any school books we used to study, we used to have an index. So you need to create that sort of an index where you define the structure of your content, and it's better to have it published on your web page or your blog, because that will help readers as well as scholars to understand the structure of the website. Next is to analyze the meta types. Now, the reference, the blog or the reference that you're looking at, you need to understand what sort of meta types, descriptions they have used, and you need to include your primary keywords in that meta title and description that you are mentioning. Apart from that, make sure that you use your primary keywords in your URL, understand the word count, understand the topic that you are and how much content you're going to cover, and based on that, you need to define how much words you're going to write it. Create an estimate word count that will help you reach a certain goal. So you can, this is the sort of content requirement that we created over here. As you can see, I've listed out all the keywords over here. And the first one, the bold, is my primary keyword. And the rest of them are my secondary keywords. So my goal is to use that keyword and at maximum instances so that I can optimize for that. At the other side, you could see that I had created content table of content. So that is how you also need to define your table of content and your topic for the blog. Doing that, creating using this pillar based strategy, this is what we have achieved. As you can see, my primary keyword, I am you can see my blog is appearing in the featured snippets. So rather than ranking, our goal is to move towards featured snippets where we get maximum of exposure. You can see more of my keywords ranking in the featured snippets. And here you can see the analytics report. Then total impression is more than 86.6K. Total number of clicks is 772. So that is the kind of impact we can create with good optimized SEO optimized content. Here is more statistics. So, on an ending note, we can say that see, Google loves you when everyone loves you first. So, therefore, as for writers, it is important to write content for the readers rather than the bots, because for the bots, you always have SEO. But that was everything from our end. And if there are any questions, bring it on. I think there was some Parth has some issues, but I think that will need more discussion over there.
Users can write their questions in the comments.
Okay, so we have one question where my landing page is in first page for certain search queries, but still I am not getting enough clicks. So first of all, when your landing page is ranking onto the first page for any of the query, the first thing is you need to also make sure that your query has actually a search volume, that people are actually searching. If you are getting impressions but you are not getting a clicks, that means that whatever users are seeing into the search engine result page, the information is not enough to describe that what your particular page, your service or your product is all about. So to improve the clicks, we suggest that you can optimize your SERP things like meta title, description, and you can try and optimize your URL structure where user can understand. Anyone has any questions, you can drop it into the LinkedIn comment box, and we will try and answer it uh, with the proper description if it's possible.
structured internal links to ensure user friendliness?
So we actually have the question from Keval related to internal linking and its importance about the when businesses find it difficult to understand. Can you please share some practical tips on how to make a good structure? So basically, when you are doing the internal linking, your main purpose for the internal linking is only to pass the link. When you have the when you have the internal links marked as a do follow, obviously the authority will pass to the next page. But while you are doing the internal linking, the main part is the anchor text that you are choosing. So for me, if you are choosing any exact keyword with the location or any another thing, it will not work. The basic funda of internal linking that you need to make sure that whatever the text that you are choosing, it should describe that if user will click onto that particular link, what kind of content or what information they are going to get onto the next page. So the internal linking is the major aspect about ranking your website into the SERP, that can improve your authority as well as that can pass the link use, and that is the reason that you can improve your authority into the Google. Dharmesh, thank you for your appreciation. Anything you can let us know?
So let's conclude this, guys. Yeah. In the end, I will say a few words from the viewer side. It was pleasure to have you guys with us, Chandramali and Sachi. It was awesome webinar, and we gained so much knowledge about it. From the viewer side, I am thanking you so much, and from the viewer side, viewers also get some knowledge and gain something about the SEO parts and all. So once again, I'm thanking you from the IVU Labs and from all. Thank you. Have a nice day, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. You too. Good day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.